Mic check. Morning Masters Podcast, your host, main of course. Across me, I got a special guest in the building with me today. I got Miss Miranda. How you doing today?
Good.
Well, I say special guest. I always say every guest is special, but it's a little more special only because not only are you a guest on the platform for what you do, but I also use your services, and I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. I want to say maybe more than 2 years, something like that. I think it was 2019 when I first started. I know it was before COVID. I know that. So, yeah, definitely a pleasure. A lot of times, what I do on the side, I don't always get people that I personally know, like that I get service from to get on. Okay. It's usually like I get them on, and then I start using them afterwards, just to kind of show my audience that I'm not just having them on here just to promote them. Like I really believe in, because my goal is to I try to have everybody on that I really believe in and that I believe in their services, so that our conversations can be genuine, right?
That's right.
And so it's funny because I just recently told you I do podcasts a couple months ago, and then from that we spoke a few times, and I've still used your services a few times after that, and now we're here,
Yeah,
So
yes.
Definitely shout out to you. So tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are.
So the work I do, I have to say, is an alternative to, or holistic medicine, I'll say.
Okay.
It's an alternative. Yes, an alternative way of relaxing, and if it's the relaxation you look for, or just an alternative to helping yourself to become more balanced, and addressing issues that maybe you have things that you have imbalances with in your body. So did you ask me where I'm from?
Yeah, so just what I typically try to do, I try to give the audience a kind of a snapshot of who the person is, for the audio listeners, for the visual listeners, who the person is first before we get into what you do, and then your expertise, and you start to kind of throw knowledge on them. At first, let's tell the person who they are first.
So my name is Miranda, and I'm from Augusta.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's crazy. I would never thought that for some reason. This whole time, I did not know you were from Augusta.
I'm from Augusta. Yep, I'm from Augusta, and grew up all my life, born and raised, but have lived. I've lived in Africa, in South Africa, Southeast Africa. I've lived in West Africa, in the Caribbean, and New York and Colorado.
What part of New York?
Harlem.
Oh, okay. I'm from Brooklyn, so I thought maybe you was in a good part, but you was in a fun part, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yes, I was in 151st.
Spanish Harlem.
Yeah. Oh, they call it Spanish
That's what
Harlem.
they call it.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. I didn't know. I was up there for actually a summer and a winter.
How was Africa?
Africa was very good for me, and it was a learning experience, and it was a different place and time, and I just really appreciate that my footsteps led me there, took me there. I lived there, and I gave birth to my older daughter there.
Okay.
In West Africa. But that's another stop, a journey. But those are some of the places I've been. So if you feel or felt at any point that I wasn't from Augusta, that's probably why.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know I know the Colorado part. I think that's what it is. I always assume, that's weird of me to assume that, right? But I always assume that you just kind of stopped here somehow, some way, but you were from somewhere else. And I guess me seeing, I think even maybe in the office you had Colorado, then there's somewhere on your
on my business license.
Yeah.
Well, not my business license, but on all my degrees and certificates and stuff like that.
I'm always observant, so I look at that and I say, oh, she's not from here. Okay, cool. So that's probably what I thought it was.
Yeah. And Boulder, I lived out there for almost 9 years.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
And that wasn't something I was going to ask you, but maybe if you can if you give me any kind of insight on it. I don't know. I'm not trying to get your age or anything like that, but when you was coming up in Augusta, how was Augusta like versus now?
Very different. You had more of a social maybe it's still there, and it's because I'm older now and I don't go out as much that I don't see it. But when we were coming up, the younger people, we were always socializing. It didn't matter what county you lived in. There was a lot of after school things going on. People would just hang out in parking lots. Parking lots would be filled up all over Augusta. There were a lot more nightclubs. Hip hop in the late 80s going into the early 90s and mid 90s, everybody was clubbing.
You was clubbing?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they had yes,
I can't imagine.
Yes, we were. That's where my social, that's where it all began.
Gotcha.
Just especially in dance, my background in dance, but I made connections with people from all over Augusta, not just in your own county, maybe that you went to school in. So, and then, there were a lot of artists that came through here. It was just different. They're still coming through here, but the social arena is just not, I guess, because you got all this social media now. It was just different then.
Yeah, I mean,
it was so different.
I think kids don't come outside no more anyway.
Yeah.
Mainly, tablets, phones, computers, everything is at your hand. It's a handheld right now. So you just sit at the couch all day, and the same way y'all socialize in the parking lot and, going out, people do that. They'll just go on Facebook Live or, with 20 people, and they all just chit-chat and talking, but they all in the comfort of their own home. So, nobody's coming outside. Then COVID, obviously don't make it no better, but this is even pre-COVID that was going on. So I even noticed that now. Like, I play sports, basketball a lot growing up, and I noticed that the court's not even the same. Like, you could drive past courts all day and nobody there. But back in the days, it was like you had to get there early if you wanted to play, or you weren't gonna play unless you was really, really good. So yeah, it's a different time. Definitely different time.
That was the human era. I call that the human era because there was you were forced to be amongst each other,
right?
Because that was the only way you could connect.
I miss those days. A little bit. I'm not mad at that social media, don't get me wrong, but I do wish that we used it for what it was for, but also still had the mechanics at least to have social skills. I speak about this a lot, and I stopped for a little while, right? And I don't know if you probably did, but when I was younger in school, right? It's just the little stuff, it might be embarrassing moments or it might be, but it's moments of growth. So even, I don't know, writing somebody a letter in class and handing it to them, right? That you don't do it no more. Now it's like, oh, you got Facebook, Instagram, I'm gonna make a fake page and probably talk to you, and it's no real connection, It's like no real, okay, that was embarrassing. I ain't do that again, or that did work, so I got confidence now. It's like it's none of that. Even calling somebody's house phone and their mom might pick up and it's a boy, oh, what's going on? It's no more of that. So everything is all just kind of straight direct to consumer, even with young kids, which can be a bad thing sometimes too.
And so they're missing out on a lot of, like you said, there's steps in the emotional growth, the communication growth.
Right.
There's different areas that are being left out now. It's just about learning something and then learning how to become a consumer. Yeah, like you're saying, and just becoming basically. It's sad. It's sad what's happening.
Well, let's get into a little bit just more about you. All right, so I know that now I know that you're a native. So I didn't think I was gonna learn that much about you that so soon. But you're Augusta native, so shout out to you, of course.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't even know what to call you. So when I tell somebody that I'm going to get a massage, or I'm doing this, I always say masseuse. That's just the term that I know. What will be the actual term, or what would you consider yourself? That somebody should call you. I don't think masseuse would be the correct word, I'm assuming.
Well, Miranda's my name, but I guess for the work that I do, therapeutic therapy, I guess. It's hands-on therapeutic therapy, I guess you could say that. I notice, but in short terms, yeah, I don't really like the name masseuse either because of in the context and what is used. But yeah, you could just say therapeutic.
When you say context and what is used, what does that mean?
Because a lot of and I have to deal with this out here. I use my work for helping people to help themselves, not for sexual purposes.
Oh,
and
see,
that's how it's,
it's crazy, right? So. We talking obviously when you're doing a podcast, you got questions, I got questions, right? So my original, I always wanted to get I'm gonna say this word, but I'm not. There's no disrespect to you, of course. I always want to get a masseuse on here or somebody I know that did massages, right? But to me, it had to be a black woman, and the reason being is because I know a few people. They're younger than me, but they do this. However they do it, they're licensed or something. I'm not sure, but I wanted somebody that was more decorated, to be on and speak about things. So when I told you I did podcasts, I'm just able to make that step towards getting it done. I was like, cool, this is the perfect person. I'm glad I waited. And that was one of the questions I always wanted to ask somebody, because I see them talking about it a lot, and I see their frustration with it a lot, right? And I even know one of them now who they don't even take on male clients because of certain things, like you promoting your business. I do this, and then the first thing a guy will come and say is, "What do you do? What do you give happy endings? Or what are you massaging?" And now it's disrespectful because you put that work in. You're doing something totally opposite of whatever this person thinks it is. But at this point, you feel like a slap in the face. So I know one person who don't even take male clients for that reason alone.
Wow. Yeah, most of my clientele is male clients, but the ones that come to me like looking for anything else, they don't even schedule, because I have a security.
Got you. But is that like what's the feeling like if that is tried? Do you feel a way? Is it more like it's just too common that it happens so often? So it's like whatever. Does it upset you when that happens, or?
I don't pay it no mind.
Okay, so you don't pay no mind. I just see people
because they don't ever get. They don't even get to my face. They don't even get past the scheduling.
Got you. But I mean, I guess that's why you probably don't like the term masseuse, because it probably got that weird connotation with it. Whereas there are places, I'm pretty sure, in the world where you can go get a massage and the other stuff as well. But it's not what you do. It's not the therapeutic side. It's more so I'm gonna touch you a little bit, and then that's what's gonna happen.
Happens.
Yeah.
I've had, when I worked for company, when I used to work for other, massage places before I was working on my own, I had some dirty clients like that, and they just didn't schedule with me anymore. I let management know what had happened, and that I didn't want that client to be scheduled that client no more, and they weren't.
Any advice? And I'm only asking this because of, like I said, I know you're decorated. Any advice you would give to somebody who is working on their own, so they don't have maybe the security or whatever the case may be to weed through that? Like, I got the one girl, okay, she don't take male clients, cool. Maybe she losing money, maybe not, but her safety is pretty much better now. But for other women that are doing this and that take it seriously, that's not trying to do no extra stuff, like, you got any advice for them on how they should approach their business, or maybe not having that happen, or kind of limiting when that happens?
If you don't have any security, like, somebody like that, or if you're doing it completely by yourself, train yourself how to carry a piece. Make it known through your body language what you're about. Be assertive about that you're there for massage therapy reasons.
Got you.
And if make sure you know self-defense.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that though. That's just like I said, it's something I wanted to know, and it's funny you brought it up because I was gonna bring it later on, but that is I guess the connotation. Like, you'll see that even looking it up. Sometimes you see that in there. So, but what you do, you don't, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily call what you do massaging. And it's funny you say that because I've been out of town a few times, and like you'll try like little Asian stuff. It's cheap stuff. It's nothing major, but they'll do like, it's the 60 minutes, this, that, and third, and it's not the same. And I always tell people that, like, even if I go with somebody, they be like, "Oh, that felt good." I'm like, "Yeah, it was all right," but the lady I go to is way better. And I know and that sounds like I'm being ungrateful. I'm not liking it, but it's not that. It's just once, and I guess we'll get into what you do right now because that makes sense. But like, once it's done a certain way, that's the way you know it to be done. I know that I feel like that's the correct way. My body responds to it different that way, right?
Yes.
So what you do is not typical massaging.
Mm-hmm.
So describe what it is that you do and why that's important.
So the difference between therapeutic massage and standard massage. Therapeutic massage, what I do is going to address issues that a person's coming in there with. Maybe they're having a lot of tension headaches. Maybe they're having lower back pains. Maybe they're not having anything physically bother them. Maybe they just want to relax. Maybe they having insomnia issues. They don't sleep very well. Maybe they might, be what I call hyperactive or things like that. They just want to relax. So what I do is I tap into focusing on balancing. There might be some imbalancing with organs in the body. I don't do a full assessment, but I do a very small one when I lay hands on my client to see possibly what could be going on with this person, though that's not the type of session that I'm doing. Because Shiatsu, you have to actually, you have to find out what exact imbalances are happening in the body, and then you're going to work those meridians, they call in that profession, they call it meridians or channels of energy or blood flow. So therapeutic massage is addressing a person on a level where they can come, first of all, and let go here and know that somebody's going to take care of them and let them start to, let them have that space to relax.
When you say here, you mean mentally, right? I'm only asking that. I'm doing that for the people that's not watching visually, audio, they listening to it. So mentally, they let go, and then you do everything else.
Yes. Well, so that way the person can tap into a deeper place in themselves. You have the standard massage where you have the therapist, or if you say the masseuse, or that type of therapist that wants to get an arousal out of you, and they want you to get an arousal out of them, and then they're just rubbing all over you. That's not therapeutic massage. That's what you will get in these Chinese places and some of
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good. I like how you did that, and you were very well spoken. Like, even I feel like I'm getting a massage now, right? But look, it's like even when you think about the Chinese place, you think about when somebody is with someone. So it's your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever the case may be, right? Those are the same kind of massages. Not necessarily therapeutic all the time. No, it's just like it's for arousal.
Yes.
You might get out of the shower, you had a long day, okay, da-da-da. But it's always to lead up to that point, right?
Yes.
As opposed to you just doing it to take a load off the person's day.
Yes.
Or to bring them somewhere to a calm place.
Yes. So that person can go inside themselves. They can now take their focus off of everything in the world. They don't have to be concerned about nothing. Though there's another person's hands on them, they're now on the inside of themselves, and they're finding their peace. They're resourcing. They're going to a place where, so when they're off the table, they can go back to that place whenever they're in a stressful situation, without running to some beer or smoking or maybe grabbing some sweets or something. And that's where therapeutic massage is also great for addiction. Because you're allowing the person to become self-conscious and self-aware of their patterns and their behaviors. When you're in a quiet place and you're not thinking about anything else, it's like when you close your eyes, all the energy is gone because now you're not focusing on anything. And when you're in a massage, it's kind of the same concept, because you're now allowed to just let go.
Right.
Yeah, you want to let go.
So is it? I guess it would be like kind of similar to, like, somebody get off work, they had a stressful week, they go buy, I don't know, 30 beers or whatever the case may be, or just alcohol and drinking, and maybe that take them to a place where they're not thinking about the week they had or whatever, but they might get belligerent, they might get violent, who knows? Like, it's just you taking yourself out of that space of stress and what you've been through the week, but you might be putting yourself in a different situation, and now you're more violent, irritated, irritable, things of that nature, right? So the massage can take that place, but it'll still leave you in a calm place. It allows you not to have to buy that alcohol, not to have to, I don't know, go to smoking maybe, or whatever you do. So when you said that about it helping with addiction, I never thought about massages that way.
Yeah, a lot of people binge when when they become emotionally triggered. they put their hands on whatever they can put their hands on to soothe the situation. It could be, you know, a spliff, or like I say,
A spliff.
it could be just to go eat a whole pie or something. My point that I'm making is addiction is stemmed from emotional imbalances, out of control, when you don't know how to resource a place to calm yourself down, so you look for a stimulant.
Good word.
To send that dopamine to the brain. So it could be through smoking, or it could be through sugar, or it could be through something salty, or it could be drinking. Whatever, you need something to suppress the emotional, whatever the stress is, or the emotional reaction is to something.
So would it be safe to say like it's good to get therapeutic massages on a regular basis? Like put yourself maybe every week, every 2 weeks, whatever you can afford. But to put yourself on that type of regimen to where it's more common for your body to be in that calm place for a longer period of time, but on a consistent basis.
Because what's going to happen over time is, and this is why the people who have a lot of money do this, for them it's a luxury, you know, and they can pay, you know, a lot of money to constantly be on someone's table. But this is why they do it. And this also will take you, not to digress, but it'll take you to where it even began. If you keep coming and you keep getting these sessions, what happens is your mind starts getting trained to calming down another way. There is no stimulant involved. Your channels in the body are opening up. You're getting dopamine sent to the brain through being, you know, you're being touched, and channels are opening up. Relaxation is happening through the release of trigger points in the body. Channels are opening up. It's just, you know, there's a lot. Your blood flow is becoming a lot better. So what happens is when you get off the table, people feel like this, oh, I really needed that. You know, you'll see that happen. Yes. So, and then they go home, and a lot of people say they sleep really good that night. When you keep going for those massages, the body starts getting conditioned to settling, calming down through you resource the place that you go to in those massages. So even when you're not in a massage and something triggers you, instead of you running to a stimulant, you go back and you resource those feelings from the session, and then you calm yourself down. You'll calm you don't need something to put into your mouth, or some people, you know, they got it, you know. It's just you have learned a new way to react to a situation
versus any kind of bad habits you may have had before, or just unhealthy habits rather. You know, maybe that's not bad to somebody, maybe it's cool to somebody, but it's unhealthy to the least. So that makes a lot of sense though. And I never thought of it like that. To me, I'm just the average person, you know, thinking about it now, thinking about it how you were saying it, and when I think about, and it's so funny because when you think about things being synonymous, so like you coming here and we doing this podcast is so funny. I think subconsciously me coming to do massages made me want to even have the room how I have it now. Like I was telling you beforehand, I used to have the light on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it was bright in here. I mean, Jesus Christ, my older work is really bright. I might have 2 lights, but like you just need one. Just dim the lights down, make it feel comfortable. But I remember like coming. In every location you had, it's like, okay, lights is dim, got this kind of music going on right now. It's warm, you know, it's like the perfect temperature. Are you okay? Like you getting the person so comfortable to where like they are gonna open up. You know what I'm saying? They open up, and I guess in your line of work it'd be like you opening up your mind, your mental. You know what I'm saying? But for here, I want you to open up and get you comfortable enough to speak. And so yeah, it is. I guess it's irony in that you tell me now, but like I didn't think about it before. I could have gotten that from you.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. And there's something I wanted to cover, to go back to what you were saying about the young lady who did not want to work on men because of maybe them wanting to take the sessions in a way that she just. I do get a lot of from my male clients over time, from some where I had no choice but to stop them from coming to me because they were married men. But it was only from the married men, not from men that were not married. It was only the married men.
Hey, you know
Yeah. See, the ones who weren't married, if they became an attraction over time, I said to them, okay, the policy here is, if you feel that there is some sort of, you have an interest in me, you have to stop coming to me for 6 months. And if you want to pursue anything with me, then you can do that after 6 months. And I just say that to the client. And then this is what they say. They say, I can't stop coming, so I'll forget about that. Yeah. So then we're
That's
squashed.
funny though.
But yeah, the ones that I had to ban from coming to me were married men. And, that happens. It's a very intimate thing to be touched and to, be loved on in an unconditional way. And so the way you deal with that, if that ever does happen, I'm just saying the way I've dealt with it. If I've ever had a problem with a client trying to take it a different direction, then I just, let them know, hey, that this is the policy and so forth and so forth.
You mentioned, and I'm asking this because I now wonder when you say that. You mentioned, when I asked if you had advice for the young ladies, you said to be, I forgot the word, you said be something. And
assertive.
Be assertive in what you, right? But when you're doing what you're doing and you're doing it very well, the client can still take it the wrong way no matter how assertive you're being, right?
Yeah.
And at that point now, it's like, what do you do then?
It's all, and I say this, and if I was to teach an ethics class to train other therapists, you have the control of how you're going to send out your energy, and that's to any therapist. I don't know if you call whatever you call yourself in this line of work. It's all left up to the person who's doing the work. You make the boundaries. You set the tone, and so long as you continue. You stay professional, set the tone, stay within the context of why the client is there. It'll never ever go beyond, go over your head. So it's all left up to the therapist, and they put us through this training when we go to school.
Oh, okay, so that's actually part of the training then. So
Yeah.
okay, so it's more common than I even think it is. I'm thinking about black women. It's probably almost all massage therapists, masseuse, I don't know what they're called, but all of the people in that line of work probably deal with this, not just black women.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's everyone. The school I went to was, predominantly Caucasians out there, but yeah, it's everybody is going through that. So it's how you carry yourself.
And that's what you say is I like the words you're saying, how you're using it. I just wonder, like, for somebody that is getting the services, I think too, on the other spectrum of it, like, a person can be made, like, they can feel that they get some special treatment. You could be doing the same thing you're doing with every client. It could not be no special for this one particular person. It's just what you're doing, right? But because they're opening up mentally and all the things that's going on in that therapy, they might not be getting that at home as well. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a new feeling to them.
Yeah.
And technically speaking, when you are in marriage and you meet your quote unquote soulmate, that's what you're expecting. I would assume your soulmate to be doing, opening you up and this, that, and third. So like, they on that bed laying down, they probably like, hey, I don't get this at home. I talk come in here every week. She's kind of pretty, and and there's no telling how they're taking things that's going on. Oh, she rubbed my thigh. She must, but that's part of the regimen. It's not letting it's not like I'm rubbing your thigh only. It's like I'm rubbing everybody's thigh. So,
and so that's when I invite them and I say, can you set an appointment for your wife? And actually, there was one client where he didn't want to do that. And I just said, well, so I had to ban him from coming because it was getting worse and worse and worse. And so I just, like I say, I through my touch, I make sure that my mind is focused on a therapeutic issue of that person. Mm-hmm. I make sure I always keep a clear mind.
I can vouch for that. You ask questions, you make sure, you say any concentrated, what do you do? Even for me, I'll go ahead and say, like, even when COVID was going on, I tell you, worked outside, what we doing outside, like I can feel the massage change for certain things because like, okay, well, you do this, you got a lot of back problem, you've been over lifting this, that, and third, you're out in the sun. So it's a certain way you're gonna even approach that person's massage based on the questions you ask them when they first come in. So it's a questionnaire. I don't have the time no more because I've come plenty of time. But when you first come, it's a questionnaire, all these questions. So you do your due diligence, and like I said, it is. It's funny because I came to you like it's been over 2 years now, if I'm mistaken. I brought my mom to you, my sister. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I even brought your client. Everybody had the same thing, so it's not just a me thing. Like they be like, yeah, that was the best massage I got. Like that was the best, and
Thank you.
so it's not just a quote unquote man thing or whatever it can be. Like it's I don't want to say out of body experience because that's making it sound like something else, but it's more like it's a real therapeutic experience. If you stressed out, if you never had a real massage, you only been to the Chinese people, like you're gonna come here and it's gonna be a totally different experience than what you're used to. The main thing for me is it's gonna kind of sell you a little bit, but the main thing for me that I like the most because I've gotten massages before because I play sports and stuff, but the one time I went, I had neuropathy, so I had something wrong. I couldn't feel my waist down for like a week, right? Mm-hmm. And I went to some therapy and I got all that stuff done. All right, cool. So a person I was with at the time, they sent me to Atlanta. We went to Atlanta and we got like a massage, right? That was the first time I had a real massage. So I remember when I went to you, and it was better for one, but it was just different mainly because you didn't waste time. Like it wasn't like, well, I'm gonna waste time making you write this first, and then I'm gonna start the time now. You take your clothes off, come back at 15, or I'm gonna let you dress in 15. No, it was like really all 60 minutes, hands on.
Yes.
And that was the first time I ever had that. And I was like, oh, I'm going here every time now.
Yeah.
And that's to me, that's what kind of put you over the top of anybody I could have went to. Because I had that morning I was searching everywhere, who I can go to, this person, and I said, black lady, I'm trying to see what this is about, and I went, and I ain't looked back since. So.
Oh, that makes me feel really happy.
The first day that I came to that whole morning I was looking for massage places to go. So when you reached back out, it wasn't you, but your text thing come back out, whatever, and you set the time, and I went. I remember telling mom like, yo, I went to this lady, you gotta go.
Wow.
Like you gotta go. And the very next time I came, I told my mom, then I sent my sister. So I always try to send people to you if I feel like better they going through something. Like I try to say, you need to go to this person. This is where we want to be at. So
I appreciate that.
Everything you're saying is not like everything you're saying that I want just to anybody that's listening, like it's real. And I've been coming to you for over 2 years now, and I don't think anybody that know me, I'm a real calm person, always kind of chill. So
yes,
that could be a reason why too. Like I come to you on a regular, so it's like
regular.
Good. My body is always I'm not a rowdy person, So
and my goal that's my goal. I want my clients to keep coming back so that my clients get stronger and stronger. I don't want my clients addicted to nothing. And a lot of us, I suffered from addiction at one point in time in life, and I just want to, because when you're not suffering from any type of addiction, you live a happy, a more just calm life.
Definitely. I'm with you on that one. I don't mind being addicted to nothing either if they don't have to. That has broken a lot of families up,
Yeah.
and stopped a lot of bonds. Let me ask you this. So, the history of like therapeutic massage, like, you mentioned like masseuse and all that stuff, and it being Chinese, like a lot of, from my understanding. If you tell me if I'm wrong or not, when I looked it up, this stuff come from China or a Chinese person. I don't know if they're Chinese or Asian. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the difference. But they claim that that's where it came from. Is that wrong to say or?
Well, every part of the world had their part in the beginning of massage. In India, they they had their version of massage. In China, they had their version of massage, and in Africa, they had their version of massage. Thailand, different parts of the world, and
what version you like the best?
I would say that all of it says the same exact thing, but what I connect with more is, I guess, Thai massage and I can't really say traditional massage because you have different
types of traditional.
There's different type of traditional.
This sounds like religion for some reason. I don't know. I feel like like every religion got some quote unquote some of the same thing, but then you might connect to one so much more. I'm getting that from it now. Like, yes, might be true. This is true. This is true. This is true. But I connect here so much more.
Like for example, in India, what's common there is Ayurvedic. They call Ayurvedic medicine is what it's called. In China, or in the Asian countries, Japanese old technique, you have Shiatsu.
The name, I've seen the name before. I've seen that somewhere. I don't know where, but
that's
I've seen
part
it.
of that's actually one of Shiatsu, and then and then Chi, the study of Chi, the flow of Chi, and then but if you want to say where did it all begin, I don't know which civilization was before what civilization, but I just know that in ancient Egyptian times, from studying from our ancestors, I don't know about other, though they've said that all races come out of the black race. I'm just going to say from our ancestors, it was used as a way for the family members to stay connected and to heal each other. Yeah, they would work on each other, especially the feet and the hands, and there were certain points on the body. That's how the family stayed close.
Okay.
They laid hands on each other, and that's how they would help if someone was sick.
And all that kind of makes sense to everything you're saying now. Like, it's like a bonding, and hate to keep bringing it up, but that further, like, it further more makes me not, I ain't gonna say understand, but really, I guess, see firsthand now what y'all probably do deal with if somebody's looking at this as bonding now, where it's a service. I'm just healing you, but they're bonding in that moment. It's hard for them to say, "Oh, I'm not. I can't take 6 months away." Like, it's that closeness,
Yeah.
So everything makes sense. Like what you're saying. That's. I never looked at massage in that way, or therapeutic massage in that way. I always looked at it as, my back hurt. I want somebody to touch my back. It hurts.
Yes, and that's what they did in Egyptian civilizations. That's what they did. Somebody was hurting, so that's what contact was made for.
Can you listed some, but like, can you give me some like health benefits of this?
Oh, definitely. If you're suffering from tension headaches or vision problems or scoliosis, some people have got issues with that. Bulging disc, fusions. Maybe you had to have surgeries where they had to fuse joints together. Maybe you had injury from sport, or maybe you're dealing with insomnia. You got the emotional and you got the physical. There's psychological. Some people have a lot of paranoia, anxiety attacks, insomnia. When you look at it from that aspect, therapeutic massage is really good for calming the mind down and the brain, resourcing a place when a trigger happens.
Well, you mentioned therapeutic massage a few times. Are there different types of therapeutic massages? And like, can you kind of walk us through a few of them?
Yep. So you got the Swedish style, been around for a long time. Very good for targeting the central nervous system.
Okay.
So that's one. If you go into Shiatsu is not your traditional therapeutic massage. It's what we call using your fingers, doing acupuncture style therapy. You are opening up the channels in the body through direct pressure through your fingers and through palming, through the palm of your hands. And that's really good for if you have, let's say, lung and large intestine issues, or bladder and kidney issues, or if you're having pancreas and spleen issues, things like that. That's what's really good. Shiatsu will address imbalances that way. And then maybe if you have skeletal misalignment issues, normalization of soft tissue, or what they call myofascial work, is good for working with the fascia and helping to, I guess, reshape or restructure muscles so that your joints fall differently and you have a natural chiropractic adjustment versus a forced one when you go to a chiropractor. So that style would be good for your joints.
So, I like to get the stones when I get the massage. Right, that's like my my favorite thing. I think one time out of Cane, I didn't get the stones, and it still felt good, and if it actually still relaxing. Believe it or not, it was. But I like them. I like them a lot. I don't know the heat on my body. I like
Feels
it.
good. Yeah.
Like, it's probably the best part. Like, and quiet as kept. At least for me, I can't speak for my else. Quiet as kept. You would think, because I come and I always say my back. It is my back, but quiet as kept. Like, I don't know when you get to like the neck part and that neck, that probably feel the best to me. I don't know why. Like the neck and then the head, like that feel the best. Even though I go for my back, that always seemed to be like the best part of it for some reason. But when you talk about the stones and these types of massage, like what does the stones actually do?
We were trained to, the stones make the blood move faster. It heats up the body. Like when you sit in a jacuzzi,
Okay.
yeah, if you sit in heat, you'll notice that your blood is moving really quickly. So, or you warm up fast. So heated stones, when you're massaging with them, it kind of causes that same effect. And it's, causes a deeper relaxation faster. So that's really the benefit of the heated stones.
What about aromatherapy? Like, what is that?
Aromatherapy. So if a person,
I'm just throwing out words that I've heard. So
okay.
Just
So
throwing them out.
right,
I'm
yeah.
not quizzing. I don't know nothing about none of this stuff.
There's some chemistry behind being able to put the right fragrances together and things like that, and you can, training for that is available out there. But you can just use the single fragrance. Let's say lavender, or you might have sage. And what happens is you put just maybe 1 or 2 drops in your hand. You just put 1 or 2 drops in your hand, and you use it in the oil or the cream that you're using on your client.
Okay.
And it's supposed to, you read up on, each oil has a specific a specific thing that it does for that person. Lavender is very calming, and sage
That's something you like doing? You like doing that, aromatherapy, or not really?
Oh no, I do it. I tell my clients, when you want an aromatherapy session, please bring your oil.
Oh, okay.
And I will do. You just put a few drops in your hand.
I don't know, like it could be me. I could be being judgmental. I don't know. The sage part always loses me because I don't know what it is about the sage. It give me like weird vibes sometimes with certain people. So I always like that. To me, it has not a negative connotation, but kind of.
Yeah.
Because some people be seeming off that talk about it to me. Like, they seem off. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to do the sage thing.
Yeah, you don't have to do sage.
Yeah. So
They got clary sage and they got regular sage, and then there's jasmine, lang lang. There's so many different fragrances out there.
I don't know.
That
names sound a little wild, so
yeah.
I'm gonna have to stick with the hot.
Hot
stones.
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, but that's aromatherapy.
Why? Yeah. And let me ask. I mean, this is just a funny question to ask. Why do you think? 'Cause I feel like a big scam to me. It's all the scams out of all the scams in massage. Is massage chairs to me. You'll never get the same feel to me. I've been in cheap massage chairs. I don't know. I've never been in one that I felt like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, I don't like massage chairs. They don't feel the same as the hands. They don't feel the same as any massage that I've got. Even the bad ones. I feel like they're a little better than massage chairs. Do you think it'll ever be like, or is there any massage chair that's like really good?
No, because it's not a
I'm not
human being.
Okay,
it's not a human being. Yeah.
Just thought it was me. I just want to make sure it was me. It's not just me, because I couldn't. I wasted so much money in these massage chairs trying to sit in them in the mall. Before I knew what a massage was, like after a real massage, then I thought it was okay. But once you start to really go, it's like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, and I hope. I mean, I don't know if you have a significant other, or one day when you do, it's supposed to be, and this is where your massage chair is supposed to be your spouse. Because, and that's where Tantra comes in. Tantra, I don't know if you know a little bit about Tantra.
Heard that word before.
Yes, that's another. You see couples, when you are in a relationship and you go in for, I wouldn't say training in this, but just knowing what to do. It makes the relationship get really, really, really close, because you'll understand each other on a different level. And,
I agree. I think that, I mean, not, I know we keep having this thing, but not to compare it to any sexual thing, but like when you think about even if you're a couple and you use sex as therapy as well, then that's fine. But like knowing a person's body, that's like it will bring you closer. Y'all know each other's body like very well. Like it'll you can even feel a difference when if you with somebody else, or if somebody else massage you. It's like, okay, this person don't know my body, like this person know my body. You know, this person didn't know that side, or something you have to say. It's a thing of not. It's something it's something to be said about not having to say, hey, get this spot, and somebody get that spot.
Yeah.
That it bring you closer to that person. You know, almost like if they read in your mind rather. So yeah, I agree with you on that. On the massage tip, definitely. I agree. What about like, okay, so you have a significant other, or you know, y'all, whatever you want to call it, and you do give a massage, like you do it professionally, right? So like you know this is something you have expertise in, right? What would you say to people who, like, some people can't give massages for a long period of time? They might, after 3 minutes their hands fall. Like I writing, for me, I can't write. 2 minutes, I'm my hands is all, I'm throwing up gang signs at that point. So like, what advice could you give somebody who maybe need more stamina in massage, and like they may get tired, their hands just hurt after massage, maybe their hands too small, I don't know. I don't have that problem, but I know people sometimes, like they'll massage, but they won't massage for long because they just can't. They'll get tired.
Depending on how you're sitting and where you're, how you're giving the person a massage, you want to work from right here. Because if you're just sitting behind a person and you're just doing like this, yeah, your hands are going to get tired, your arms are going to get tired, because of how it's where you're at and how you're giving the massage.
Okay.
But if the person's laying down and you want to, you know, explore with sending your energy out through your hands and not getting tired, think of working from your center, and everything's coming from your center. It's not coming from here. You're not muscling it. Everything's coming from your center. And we got trained in how to do that. Okay. Feeling through this part of your hand. So your this right here, the base of your hand, and just learn. It gets hot, and just learn it. And then when you start to move from there, before you know it, you're not muscling anything anymore.
Gotcha.
Now it's coming from a deeper place, and then you don't get tired.
Okay, that make a lot of sense. I'm just, I guess I'm giving up. I want you to give out the game. You know, you the expertise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a man, I don't necessarily get tired, but I get what you're saying. You don't feel it especially if you're doing it. If you're enjoying it and you're doing it to, I'm not gonna say please, but to calm the person, you probably won't feel that at all. Like, the more calm they get, it's almost like the more energy you get, because you want to be successful in calming that person. You know. So yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I think that's good. Like for you, like how do you, because you got to book up, and you got to, as much as we talking spirituality and things of that nature and calming, it's a business still for you, right?
Yes.
So how do you go about even scheduling? Like, how do you say, okay, I got a 90-minute one here. Then, like, do you give yourself a break, or can you, like, 'cause after 90 minutes of using your hands, how much of a break do you need before you have to go another 60 minutes or another 90 minutes?
I make sure that I schedule the next client at least 30 minutes away from each other. I don't do them back to back. When I was working for other companies, like, I don't even want to say their names.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say no names.
Yeah, I don't want to say. But when I was working for places, when I was working up underneath people or up underneath these franchises and stuff, and they would book us back to back. I did 8 clients a day, or I had to do 10 clients a day. That was when I first started out as a massage therapist. I felt it after about the first few months of working. And I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this for a long period of time if I don't change my body mechanics. And also request that, hey, don't schedule me like this. You know, and I understand that, you know, you really don't have a say so when you're
right. You're an employee.
You don't have a say so, but so then when you do, and so when you don't have a say so, you learn how to use your body mechanics differently. You're not using your hands all the time. This is where your forearms come into the picture, and this is where, you know, you're using your elbows, but you're not hurting the person. You're just you're not even using your hands anymore, and you're using your body to lean into the person. So now you're taking, this was when I was working for the people, and I just didn't have, I didn't have the power for them to change
Right.
what I wanted. Now on my own, I schedule things that are good for me. Yeah.
Well, I have to ask that. It's more of a business question, though, but I'm just intrigued to know the answer. Working for those other quote unquote companies, and people know the companies. It's only a few of them, out here and there, versus working for yourself, right? What's some of the differences you've seen in doing so, and do you feel like it's needed to work for those kind of companies? Do you feel like you can kind of be better off doing it alone by yourself?
You need to start out working for a resort or working for.
Okay, so it is essential.
You need to, yes. Why do I say this? Your communication skills are going to build. Your customer service skills are going to build. Your ethics skills are going to build. You need to know what to do in different circumstances and how to work with different types of people. And you get that experience through, because when you go out on your own, you might only get one type of market. But when you're working in a place that's really, marketable, it's big, they got commercials running for that place, all types of people walk through the door.
Right,
So now
right.
you're fixing to build your communication skills.
Okay.
And you're going to build your comfort level of working with people with different issues, different energies. Yeah, you got to build up experience. So you need to start there first. I always say that to anybody.
Okay.
Though it doesn't pay, it's not as rewarding as being on your own, but you need to build up experience.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that, because when I was 19, I owned the restaurant with one of my friends. God bless her dad. But I owned a restaurant with him, and we did good. We doing good for the first 90 year and a half, rather. And then we lost the business. And now that I work for a major retail company, right, I always say that if I had did it reverse, I would never have lost that business. I would have learned everything I know, because like you said, you meet different people. I would have knew not to go in there and say, hey, we own this spot, we black, and we in South Carolina. They're not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
People stop coming just because we were black. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's certain things I didn't know. You know how to deal with certain people, certain situations. What's worth the argument, what's not worth the argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's worth saying no, or what's worth saying I'll run it, it's my decision, or worth saying, you know what, just let them have it, it's cool. It's so many, like you said, commercials, how to deal with people, verbiage, language, how to say no in different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things that I just didn't know at 19, that now I know at 30, but I learned that from working through this company for all these years in different positions. So I'm with you on that. Like, it's not, it don't pay as well. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you're not your own boss, but at the same time, it's the experience level you get. It's the knowledge that you get. You know what I'm saying? And then just knowing how to maneuver in certain situations.
Yeah, and you're also going to get the behind the scenes, the admin part. You study. You're going to learn everything. So then when you get off on your own,
it's like a mentor. It's like your own personal mentor. Like, you can use it to the best of your ability to get everything you get out of it, and then do your own thing.
Yep.
Because you can look at the pros and cons. It's going to be things that you don't like about a business too. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like you with the whole scheduling back to back. I'm not doing that. I'm going to schedule 30 minutes in between here and there. Not to get a quick buck. I'm just going to schedule that way so my body don't feel the stress out from it. Because then you're going to need to get massages.
Yeah, that's true.
What about therapeutic massages and chiropractic practice? Now, I ask that because my back be hurting, and somebody be like, well, you need to go to chiropractor. But I'm like, when I do leave there, my back don't hurt.
If you're seeing a chiropractor, I recommend massage before you go to a chiropractor. Why I say this? Why would a chiropractor have to jostle and fight with you if you're already relaxed? So I recommend massage before a chiropractor visit.
Okay.
And that's for anybody who's
so it can go hand in hand
chiropractor.
pretty much though. It's not you're not a anti chiropractor. It's just, and I would assume y'all do two different things anyway.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to a chiropractor to get relaxed. It's something wrong body wise, and they're gonna, I guess, try to adjust it or whatever the case may be. Okay, so it is different things. It's not even the same thing.
And to get that client to relax, they would already, after a massage, be relaxed.
Right.
So that they can, the chiropractor can put you in whatever position they need to do whatever they need to do. Do I like chiropractors? No, I don't. But I'm just saying, yeah. I don't. I'm not knocking, but I'm just saying that they do work hand in hand, though. Yeah.
That's funny that you say that because I know, like, I wonder how I keep saying masseuse, how massage therapists feel when I do ask you that question. Matter of fact, how do you feel about that? Because social media even though we talk about these connotations and this, that, and third, social media does give that negative connotation to massaging. You'll see this man with dreads and big buff, and he's massaging the woman. And it's like, bro, like, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to go. Like, it seems so sexual, right?
Yeah.
So they put that connotation with that, right? But then as you talk about relaxing and just a good feel, with chiropractors on the social media and the little clips I see, that look like the more relaxing thing. Like they crack it back and smell like, oh, it feels so good. Or they pulling this and they doing that.
Yeah.
So social media does give, in my opinion, I guess, it kind of starts that trend of that whole mindset of I'm going here and this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I even seen an episode of Girlfriends one time, I think. It was weird. I don't know if you ever watched Girlfriends or not like that, but I seen an episode where they were going in and I guess they was like going in for a sexual thing, though. Like, and it's a weird episode. I remember when I was a little kid, I just did see it. But yeah, what's your thoughts on like the social media aspect of how it portrays chiropractic and massage therapists?
Massage and things like that. Well, to kind of go back to again how they even look at massage therapists versus a chiropractor, where you have to become a doctor to even, to legitimize more of the work. I'm just going to say, it's all in how you carry yourself. But because we live in a society where people are starved of love and they're starved of physical contact with people, and then their massage, it gets then tied into, some sort of fulfillment of something that you're not getting because of whatever reason. People want to have these fantasies and this, that, and the third. But it's all in how the therapist carries themselves so that title doesn't get carried over to that person.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's going to disappear. It doesn't mean the title's going to
True.
disappear. It just means that you're not going to be labeled as, and it's how you carry yourself. But a lot of people want love, and it's all type of, so connection. They want real connection. And so we had a show back in the day called Love Connection.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, people could meet each other, and it seemed pretty real.
I remember them happening at the any massage places though. It was just like, hey, you ask some questions, we'll see what they match. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I definitely I feel like it just, and that's why they give it to y'all in y'all training and stuff like that, because they know that it's just I guess a direct relationship that's gonna happen. Like they know you're bound to go into that. If you're doing this job well, you're gonna bound to run into somebody who's gonna think that you just getting the best massage of their life because something else, not because you're doing your job.
One day I want to show that, not about massage, but that where people can connect with each other. Yeah. I would like something like that.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
I just want to be the person that kind of, watches what's going on and help things happen, or like watch things happen and mediate. But yeah, I want a show like that. Yeah. So
I'm trying to see if I had, because I had some other questions I wanted to ask, and I think we asked so much. We talked so much about a lot of stuff. I want to say, I hope I don't double ask no question.
Massage, though, I hope people will invest in it. It's an investment in yourself instead of buying drugs, and cause for pain, and it's a great alternative. I just hope people investigate in looking into more to therapeutic massage, and make sure you have a good therapist. That's gonna make all the difference. Don't just go and spend your money with some, like, anywhere. You gotta do some research on the person. Know where they trained at. No. Should people, and that's gonna sound weird, but I don't know if you know the
the theory of like men with their barbers, right? It's like you got to keep the same barber, you be loyal to a barber. Do you think it should be the same with your massage therapist, where it's like kind of feel them out and see like what massage therapist you kind of vibe with the best and continue to go there, or should you just always choose different ones? Should you be, because people think go massage, I'm going to Chinese place, I'm going to Chinese spot, I'm going to Chinese spot, but they're not really getting the full effect of the therapeutic massage. They're just getting the arousal massage or a quick, I'm gonna beat you up real quick. Because I've been some places they just beat you up, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is going on? Like,
if
you just punching me.
Like, I'm gonna tell you, like, if I go somewhere, Jermaine, and I get a massage, there was this one place in Denver when I was in Colorado. It was the Russian bathhouse. I've never had work like that before. I would recommend, I would say, hey, Jermaine, I know you're a client of mine. Go check these people out, though. I want you to see this style of massage. This is different. And I would make sure that you're with somebody that's really good, though, too, because I would fill out. If I go and I went to the Omni Resort one time and I got this really good Lomi Lomi style of massage that's out of Hawaii. I'm going to say to you, I know you're my client, but hey, check this out. I want you to see a professional in this style. Why am I doing that? You then get a broader spectrum of how this work is. Yeah.
How important you think it is for somebody to actually research types of massage and what they do versus getting massage based on what you think you can afford? Because like someone might get a massage, they don't know, they just getting a massage, $60, but they might be getting a sports massage. They don't play sports.
Research.
Now they're getting some rigorous massage and you don't need it.
That's a good question. And some people are just looking at the money part of it. You need to research both. You need to research what type of massage you're going in for, and then looking to see what's most feasible for your pocket.
And I asked that, I say that because like the first, and I remember all this stuff. I got a good memory. I remember the first day I came to you, I looked up everything because you had types on there on your page, and I was like, okay, well, I don't know what this means. I want to go to sports route, but I'm not really playing sports. So I looked at everything, and remember one of them saying like, well, this massage is this, but the next few days you may feel a little pain or whatever the case may be. I was like, okay, I don't want to feel pain, so that's not something I want, Yeah. But some people don't even know to do that because they're not really looking up or researching the massage. They're just going to get one to say they got one, and they just think it's just hands-on body. Whereas now, if anybody washes, it's more to it than just me putting my hands on you. Because some is just fingertips, some is just like you said, you puncturing, some is palms. Some is just more connection.
Right.
Even oil, you said aromatherapy. It's all different types of massages. So I would assume it's super important to like research all the types of massages and then see which one fits what you got going on or what you're trying to get done.
Yeah, I think that's what's important. What is it that you want? Then research what type you going for, and then look at the price if it fits your budget.
Right. Because so often, people like, and I'm not dissing it, because like if your back just hurting, you feel like, okay, cool, you want to go to the massage and have them step on you and stomp on you for a little bit. No, it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you get what you pay for. $15, they gonna give you $15 worth of work, you know what I'm saying? But when you start to go and you starting to take care of your body, like the reason why I even started getting massages at the time, because I worked outside on a garden. Like you've been there before. I've seen you there. So like you see, it's heavy blocks you lifting up. Sometimes people might want 50 blocks. I might get that customer 4 or 5 times throughout that one day. It's beaming hot, so you stay lifting, lowering your back. By the time I get home, my lower back hurts. So I'm like, okay, well I got to do something to make sure I can keep my body, so I can keep working and working, not call out, and just take care of your body upkeep.
Yes.
That's why I started. So I looked into certain things for those reasons. So when I come and say what I want, it's because I know exactly what it's supposed to do.
Right.
Right. But everybody don't do that. Some people just come and they just think massage is massage. So they getting any kind. They don't care. They never getting the same one every time. They just getting whatever they can afford and they going.
I hope to be a part of the changing of how people even get into knowing what to look for in this work. I need to change it so that way people are not having a bad experience and they're getting the best out of it. I don't really want to say too much about this, but I do need to tap in on the racism that's in this work. And I'm glad that you did connect with me and found me. And that was one of my main reasons for leaving Colorado and coming out here to practice versus out there. I needed my people to know where I was because there's not a lot of us in the industry and we're going to need each other. The touch is different. there are some people from other races that know how to love us unconditionally, but we love each other unconditionally more. There are people in our own race that are hateful too. Don't get me wrong, because you're not going to get a warming and compassionate or nurturing touch even from your own people. But I tend to, when I was dancing around with different therapists from our own race, I tend to find that I was loved more. You know, there was some issues now with some people. It wasn't perfect all the time, but it was definitely different from other races.
Gotcha.
Me.
I like that. That's a clip. I'm like, that a clip. That's important to know. Like,
yeah.
And people think sometimes when you say, well, like when I tell people like, well, I like this masseuse, I like this massage therapist. She's a black woman. Like it's a big deal to me because I know and I value the black woman. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not doing it to be pro-black. I'm not doing it. It so happened that you were. If I went there and you was white, you know, and you did what you did, I would have been coming to you regardless. That's just what I would have did, you know. But you weren't. You were black, so so I stuck with it. But yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that it's a lot of things. I think when you on the outside looking into an industry that you don't know about, and that's why it's good to have. That's what my whole purpose of doing this is like to have people. And I didn't know you was from Augusta. That's even make this show even more better. But like even better. But knowing that you've been to Africa, you've been this place, you've been that place, you've been that place. You've seen you got a more broad point of view on certain things. You know, how you view things gonna be different because you're not solely just all Augusta, Georgia. You know, so I've been here, I lived in New York, I live here, I live here. So I always respect people's opinions that way who have a more broad understanding of a lot of things because they've been to different places, so they know what's what and what's not. You know, and I think that's important. You mentioned earlier wanting to be a part of a process of people knowing more about massages and stuff like that, right? If it's and we can do this, you know, anytime. You got my number, you can always call me. We can do more things like this where it's like you say, hey, today I want to just have 20 minutes, I want 10 minutes, 20 minutes talking about strictly just aromatherapy, and I want to do some. We'll come and do that, and I could put it out, you could put out whatever, but it'll still get your name out there. And like I think you are of expertise to talk about these things. You're decorated to talk about these things. So, and I'm all for that. Like everything I'm doing when I title this podcast More Than a Master, just to show that Augusta got more to offer than that golf tournament, you know.
Yes, thank you.
Things like this is what I mean. Like, you know, you are a person who's from here. Yeah, you didn't stay all your life. You went out, you explored, did this, that, and third, came back, and now you are sharing your information, your wealth of knowledge with others, and relaxing at the same time.
Yes.
And you're doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not for arousal. So we love it. You know?
Yes. Yes. That's another thing too. Chakras. We didn't get into that though, but you know, a lot of young people, and you know, there's a way to go about this so that it doesn't interrogate nobody, or not. Interrogate's not the word. It doesn't. Like you're not being invasive. That's the word. Okay. You're not getting inappropriate with anybody. But we got a lot of young people here that really don't know the difference between a nurturing touch and then a loving touch that's coming from someone that they love or that loves them. And that is something that there's a different type of arousal. You got a motherly, nurturing type of, like, you know, I love, like, you know, I know this from being a mother, you know.
Yeah, when you say mother, I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Versus a loving, nurturing touch.
Another,
right?
Yeah,
but
a sexual. Or
to add on what you're saying, though, and that go back to our community and just us knowing us, right? The trick with that could be if somebody never had that mothering touch, right. So they can often get confused with like where you know you're doing mothering, but he ain't never had that mothering touch, or she never had that mothering touch, or she like, oh, what's going on here? And it's not that, but that's the only other touch they know. They don't know mothering, you know. I had to talk with, and I'm gonna try to send you people that I feel like got things they need to release, right? Just mentally. And I remember talking to my cousin who, we got the same grandmother who just passed, right? But my grandmother was pretty much his mom. Legally, she had him. His father, who also passed away last year, and his mom this year, both was on drugs in the 80s. So when he was born, they gave him up, and him and his sister stayed with my grandmother so that they could not be apart. So she raised her kids, 7 kids, and raised them kids, right?
Yeah.
And I say all this to say, like, they never really got that mothering touch ever in life from they not their mom or not my grandma, because my grandma couldn't really be a grandma to them. She had to be a mom, but also because of the past with their parents, she also had to treat them a certain way so that they don't fall. You know, like if I do something bad, it was like, oh, your father not on drugs, your mother on drugs, okay, don't do it again. They do something bad, like don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Do not do that, because they know that it's in their DNA, I guess, to probably fall off track.
Yeah.
Hated it, but that's the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
And when you say that, I think of him like, dang, you know what? I remember like not feeling jealous, but like feeling jealous. I'm like, dang, he got a grandma. He got a nice life, But whereas he had a lot of stuff that I didn't have, but I'd had a touch he didn't have. I know how it feels for a mom to mom you. He don't know that. He never got the grandma. He got mom from grandma, and grandma wasn't, she still wasn't who she was. So yeah, it's a lot to go into that, to where when you think about you saying it's a difference in the touch, and we may know it because we might have came up on that, but it's people like him or my cousins or people that I know that one either never had a loving touch, or never had a mother touch.
Yeah.
And it can get confusing when you don't know, or you only know one.
Right. Right. If you
think about a young black girl getting touched when she's younger, but never had real parents, so all she knows is that loving, quote unquote, touch. But even that's not loving, because it wasn't loving. It was just lusting or whatever. But it's easy to get them kind of touches confused when, depending on what kind of lifestyle you had or what you come from.
They put us through this training at the school, and they were trying to see if we were qualified for this work, and it was a workshop we had to do, and there are a lot of people, though, that shouldn't be doing this work, because when they do touch, when they make contact. Now, this, I wouldn't say shouldn't be doing this work, but you have to constantly keep checking in with yourself and being very, very careful, because if you were sexually abused at a younger age, or if you have had a distorted mindset towards yourself in connection with others, your touch can come off in a way that it can harm people,
Right. Right.
Yeah. So but they put us. It's so maturity, experience, all that comes into play. Jermaine,
100%.
It's a lot.
It's
of
so
people
much deeper than what we saying. Like when you really dig into it, it's deeper than service. So you think one line, you say, okay, I can't take this client because they are thinking this one thing, but then you really dig deeper. And sometimes it's just them being perverted, of course. But then you got the people who, like I said, they don't know the difference in the touch. So like you just doing your job, but to them it's like, oh, I ain't never been touched like that,
Yeah.
But you don't know what kind of lifestyle they've been through. So but you can't, you still got to do your job. So but yeah, it's a lot of deeper conversations to have just off. And that's the dopest thing about me learning today about anything with therapeutic massaging, is that it can go into them kind of conversations. I never would have thought that us having a conversation about massaging with me would have to have me say that story I just said about the mothering and nurturing and stuff like that. But it goes into that.
Yeah, it's true. It's and the therapist, the person that's doing the hands-on needs to be. It's maturity is the word.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like I said, this was dope. Like I think that it went. I always had to gauge how I think these gonna go. You know, and then sometimes it's these rare times where it go way better than I expected it to go.
Oh,
like, of course, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this and do this. You're gonna answer this. I'm gonna have this and this. But then when you get deeper into them conversations, like, oh, we getting somewhere I ain't never even think we were gonna get. Or
wasn't thinking my notes. About those things, yeah.
And that's why I like to have general conversation, not just Q&A, because I like to share things. I want the person to share things, because you never know. You share in the beginning. I went to Africa. I'm like, oh, let's stop. I ain't know that. Let's dig into that real quick. So that's the double thing about doing this. And then like I said, I've known it almost over 2 years, and it's probably the most we ever talked, because I'm usually coming in, I'm going,
But this has been fun, though.
Yeah, I like it, and I like the fact, like I said, you a good speaker. You still soothing. I think even listening to you, they probably like, I wonder how to get a massage, because you got a soothing voice. You just chill. Even when you got up, like you would just chill. So, yeah, this was good, man. I definitely, we can do this more, and I think that it would be dope to educate people on the types of massage, And we can link it to something else. If you want to link it to whether it's addiction or whether it's getting over, we can do two things and kill two birds with one stone.
Trauma is another one.
Definitely. In the Black community, it's a lot of that. So
yes.
I'm down. So I'll probably reach out to you more based off anybody I run across. I'm actually supposed to talk to a therapist tomorrow. I had a therapist on a couple months ago, Black therapist as well, but she has an event next week on Saturday, and I think she has other people coming to the event, and it's all these ways where you can where therapy can kind of get you over the hump of some kind of traumas and stuff of that nature. I have to look at this the pamphlet again, but I showed him to interview a few people to promote the event, right? And it's funny because this is gonna come out before all that, but I guarantee you, some stuff we didn't talk about in the last 25 minutes, it's probably the similar stuff they're gonna want to break down. Having them on, having that. So if she call me tomorrow and I feel like it makes sense, I'll link y'all too. Like,
that would be.
I just think I'm all about networking, expanding, and us taking over what we can take over. Because we need to. It's just it's important.
For the community needs it. Oh, by the way, my other training is psychology, somatic psychology. So that's mind, body, intelligence.
Okay, that makes sense though. Like all of it makes sense, and I think it's good to have extra training in that field, not just strictly massaging, because it's more than just massaging, as we then spoke about for the last 90 minutes. It's more than just hands-on, skin to skin. It's deeper than that. It's more.
Some people have other stuff that's going on,
right?
And they need a therapist, and that's where I step in with that type of training. I just don't have my master's in it.
It's all good, man. Education is kind of overrated these days. As long as you know your stuff, like, you know what I'm saying. But man, this was definitely dope. And my goal is to always to I want people to watch my stuff and feel like, damn, I didn't know this person was even here.
Yes.
I want to feel like every guest is like a gem, like a hidden gem somewhere. So I appreciate you. Let them know, like, for one,
I appreciate you.
Where they could, not where they could find, but if it's a number they can call, if it's a website they can reach you at, how to book a massage, and all the service you offer.
So you can reach me. You can call me at 478-206-7146. That's not a common Augusta area code, but that's the number for the business for right now. And I'm at 2820 Jordan Street off Lumpkin Road, 30906, Augusta, Georgia. And, my website, you have my card. I don't know, Jermaine, if you're going to put that on there somewhere, but
I'm gonna put
my card, my website,
link,
it's got my website on there.
Yep.
And that's how you reach me.
Well, look, man, I appreciate you coming out. And it's so funny. I had a massage today, so like all this stuff is just funny. I'm so calm because I had a massage today. But definitely. I recommend you. Highly recommend her. I've always recommended you to people. I've actually paid for some people massages because that's how much I recommend. Like,
wow.
I come in and I'm like, I'm gonna pay but I know it's worth it because afterwards they always tell me like it was good. Like, I needed that. So. Yeah, man. Shout out to you. You got to keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you, man. More Than Masters Podcast. Hit me up on Facebook, of course, Twitter, Snapchat, any platform, YouTube. Comment, share this. Message me. Let me know any questions you got. Anything you think about the podcast, the guests. Anything that's that you don't understand. Send me a question. I'll send it to her, and we'll get you understood on things. So that's about that. More Than Masters Podcast. We out.
Thank you, Jermaine.
Perfect.
Wow, that was